this is Animat, and welcome back to the Muppet Vlog. Now this time we're going to be looking into the 9th episode of Season 3 of the Muppet Show, which features the one and only Liberace. Now for those of you who are not necessarily familiar with Liberace, he was one of, if not the biggest performer in Las Vegas of all time, from the 50s all the way up to the 80s. And I really do mean that he is up there among the greatest performers in Las Vegas, and I mean like people like Elvis, or the Rat Pack, Celine Dion, Terry Fator, Penn and Teller, Siegfried and Roy, the Blue Man Group, Cirque du Soleil, like all those groups and all those people. Liberace is among, hands down, one of the best. Now the thing is with Liberace is that he is known to be a pianist. And I don't mean just like a regular pianist just doing like little concerts and stuff like that. He was one of the greatest, if not the absolute greatest pianist of all time. His skills are absolutely master-crafted, I must say. Like, definitely the 20th century version of people like Mozart or Bach or any of those classical composers or classical music players, I must add. But what really does make Liberace stand out is that he is also known to be one of the most flamboyant entertainers of all time. In fact, it is actually stated that he is known to be like the highest paid entertainer in the world between the 50s and the 70s. And the thing is that in his shows, he would always dress up in like these crazy costumes, and he would have like such amazing bling on him. Like, he would always wear these rhinestone jackets, and each finger he would wear these giant rings and like these like just giant jewelry on his fingers and all that stuff. Like, he was pretty much living the life of luxury, and all he does is just what he does is what he loves, and he loves playing the piano, and I have immense respect for Liberace. Now, going into the episode that he appeared in the Muppet Show, it is actually very interesting because the one thing I want to say about it is that what the Alice Cooper is pretty much like a spin-off to the Vincent Price episode. The Liberace episode, I would say it's kind of like a spiritual successor to the Elton John episode from last season. And the reason why I say that is because most of this episode is entirely devoted to Liberace. But the way that they set it up is unlike any other episode that they have done. You see, the thing is that what they did with this episode in particular, they split this entire thing into two. During the first half, you just have your regular, just like, you know, your average Muppet Show episode where the Muppets just do your regular little shenanigans and the little skits and stuff like that. Like, you have a little bit of a mix of like the Swedish Chef, Veterinarian's Hospital, Muppet News Flash, and some musical numbers including Never on a Sunday and I Want to Sing in Opera. And that's mostly like the little bits and pieces over here, so like that little segment is to just remind you that you are watching the Muppet Show. Like, this is just your regular Muppet Show shenanigans, so that's pretty much average right there. It's funny, it is entertaining, but like it's just like a reminder that it is the Muppet Show. But the reason why I say that is because you have the second half. It is absolutely nothing but just Liberace doing what he does best. And it's actually very interesting because even when you look back into an episode like the Elton John one, where even though it is entirely devoted to Elton John and a lot of his songs, like sometimes they would take little breaks where we would see what the Muppets are up to. But in this one, like during the second half, it takes no breaks whatsoever. It's Liberace just playing his songs. Well, not necessarily his songs, but the way that he interprets it. Now, some of these include, like, he starts off with this crazy rendition of Chopsticks. Then afterwards, he would play a song called Misty. Afterwards, he plays Chopin's Nocturne No. 5. And finally, he goes like a little bit more wild, and this is like the more Muppety number. Is called Has Anybody Seen My Bird? And it all just presents like just his amazing talents. In fact, if I would have to pick a favorite moment in this episode in particular, like, it would have to be his rendition of Chopsticks, where it starts out simple with a little song that everybody knows, in fact, something that everybody can play. Like, I think even myself, I could play Chopsticks on the piano. But then, like, he just goes all out and just unleashes his talents onto it, and that's the one in particular where I find that we definitely do see Liberace's creativity on the piano, and really the song that really defines like who Liberace is. Like the other ones like Misty and Chopin is absolutely nice, but it's like those are the ones that you would probably expect, like playing the classical bits of music, sure, but like what you want to see is mostly a new twist to it, like add that Liberace touch, and that is definitely what you got with Chopsticks. Now with Has Anybody Seen My Bird, like, it was definitely a lot of fun. Like, it's a really nice and you know, colorful and enjoyable Muppet-like musical number, but the one critique that I would have with it is that we don't really hear as much of the piano than we probably should. Because the thing is that out of nowhere, we hear the orchestra going while all the birds are just singing, along with Liberace singing Has Anybody Seen My Bird as well. But the thing is that, like, we see him playing the piano, and even we see Rolf playing the piano when he wants to go dance with the birds, but the problem is that the orchestra soundtrack is just blaring to the point that we can't even hear the piano anymore. So, and I feel like that's a bit cheating a little bit. Like, we should hear some piano or something like that, because, like, it's Liberace and this is his concert, so we should hear, like, at least some piano. It's a great number altogether, but, like, my critique is just that we should have more piano. But with all that said, overall, this is an absolute fantastic episode, and one of the greatest examples that really does prominently show the Muppets giving time devoted to the special guest star. And especially with someone like Liberace, they definitely gave him the light, just like not only giving him time to play a lot of his music, but also just completely devote half the entire show just nothing but Liberace. Like, they would just take away like any sort of story. Like, they would take all their Muppet shenanigans and sketches and musical numbers, like they'd place them all in the first half, just to have like that your fill of the Muppets, just have it all in there. And then when the special guest star comes, that's when the fun and the talent truly begins. So it's definitely unique. It's not as structured like in the same way as any other Muppet Show episode, but it definitely does stand out, and it's definitely a lot of fun. And like, this is a must watch absolutely for anybody who is interested in pianos or playing the piano. And honestly, like, the thing is, if you're someone who is interested in pianos, then Liberace is a name that you should know, and this is definitely something that you have to see. In fact, like anybody watching this right now, I highly encourage you to check out his little rendition of Chopsticks right here. It is absolutely amazing, it is admirable, and it definitely is a lot of fun, and it's kind of like a time capsule in a way, where it's like you're watching a Liberace concert, but in the Muppet Show. So it was definitely fantastic, and definitely a highlight of Season 3. But anyways, that is pretty much going to be it for this episode of The Muppet Show, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm pretty sure that in the next episode of The Muppet Show, we are going to see something a little bit more in the regular, like in the regular tone, what we are pretty much used to. I don't think the next special guest star will get as much of a star treatment as Liberace, but we'll see if it'll come out as a good episode regardless. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see you later, dudes!